souvenir release and also for the benedictory message.
شما بوبرو روحو قديشو حضالوه شريرو. Amen. Beloved brothers, Termini Mare, our beloved Malankara Metropolitan, or Gregorius Joseph, our beloved Georgis Morkorillos, Diocesan Metropolitan, and all Termini Mare, Chachimare, Chimachimare, beautiful choir, very good singing, beloved people of God, members of Morphetros Church, St. Mary's Church, and the other two parishes in this city of Trivandrum, the capital of Kerala. I'm very happy to be with you this morning to celebrate together this Holy Qurban on the very first Sunday of Great Lent. As you know, tomorrow Lent starts. Today is the first Sunday of Great Lent. I'm happy to be here in this beloved cathedral, which is the Simhasana Cathedral, meaning that this is the cathedral of the Patriarch. So all the churches are mine. All the churches throughout the world are mine. I'm for them. But when there is Simhasana Cathedral, that means it's directly, not only under the Patriarch, but the Patriarch is the direct, God is the owner of everything. I'm the servant and I'm the spiritual father, a delegate, a metropolitan who serves it on my behalf. So I'm happy to be in my cathedral. I'm happy to be with all of you and to celebrate with you the inauguration of the 50th anniversary Golden Jubilee of the reformation of this parish. This parish started much earlier, as we heard from the brief history. It was one parish until unfortunate split happened, and then your fathers and mother lost their membership in the original parish, in the original church, and they had to come back together again and to start a new parish. So we are celebrating the Golden Jubilee of the starting or restarting of the parish. And I take this opportunity to thank God for all His blessing upon our people, those who had the vision, the wisdom, and the courage to come forward and to start a new church, exactly like what's happening now in northern Kerala, mainly in northern Kerala, where we are losing churches. But our people are coming together again and building new churches. This is a result and a fruit of the faith that is in your hearts, of your commitment to your church, of your loyalty to the Holy Throne. This is very much appreciated. We thank God for the wisdom and the courage of those people who came together and started this new parish. Obviously, there are many of them that we cannot remember, but I have to mention at least a couple of names that were the really pillars of this community here and leaders in every sense of the word in leading this parish together with the spiritual leadership of our church to bring the faithful together again and not let them scattered around in different churches and different denominations. One of these people were none other than our beloved late Barito Briro, Dr. Babu Paul, who was always concerned about this parish. During the time of my predecessor, blessed memory, late Patriarch Morganatio Zakka, I used to visit him quite often and to communicate with him about this parish in particular, about the church in general. And also during my time, the brief time that he was still among us, I used to call and to communicate and to show great concern for this parish. And I'm told that even when he was in the highest of his career as a politician, as a secretary, he was still coming to the altar and serving as an altar boy. That's not only humility, but it's also recognition of God's blessing on us, no matter what degrees we have, no matter how high our position in society is. Our blessing is from God, and serving His altar is is a privilege for each one of us. Serving His people is a privilege and a blessing for us. It's not something we are giving. It's God allowing us and gives us the opportunity to serve His church. That's how it is. So yes, we pray for the good soul of the late Dr. Baba Paul, and we pray for his family that they may also continue his legacy and be always active and supportive of the Holy Church. Likewise, I would like to mention asking mercy for the late Commander K.M. Jacob, who was also an important person, an important figure of this church, who held this parish and the parish at large. And I'm happy to see his son, our beloved Anoop Jacob, the MLA, who is continuing his father's legacy and offering his services to the Holy Church. May God bless you and your mother, and may God grant good rest and peace and in the eternal abodes to your beloved father. And I would like to mention one other person who, thank God, is still alive and among us, and may God grant him good health and long life, and that is none other than Commander Dr. C.A. Nainan, who is a faithful member of the church, but also a renowned scientist and writer, and we are happy to have him among us. And I read at least one of his books about religion and science, and I'm sure he has many other books also. I look forward to reading them. May God grant him good health, long health. Beloved, celebrating 50 years is not a few moments celebration like we are doing now, this Sharia meeting. It takes ages to do it. I'm glad we are inaugurating today the celebration, but it will go over for next year, until the next year at least. So it's a whole year celebration, and this is deservedly so. It does deserve this, because we are celebrating the labor, the hard work of many people. I mentioned only few, but many others also, for whom I pray, the departed, that may God grant rest to their souls, and the living, that may God give them good health and long life. We are celebrating their fruit of love, the love towards their church that brought them together, made them make sacrifices, both monetary sacrifices as well as in terms of time and dedication and many other things. They deserve to be mentioned and deserve to be celebrated. So what we are celebrating today is the hard work of these people. Therefore, it's very important that we show our gratitude to them by praying for them. And also, it's an occasion for all of you here to rededicate yourselves to the Holy Church, to renew your faith, which has to be renewed every day of our life. Faith received from God through the parents and then confirmed in the Holy Baptism by being born again into the faith is important, but that does not mean much if we do not make it alive in our heart, in our lives, if we do not live it out through our deeds, through our dealings with the people, through our witnessing to the Lord by what we do, what we say. Therefore, we should remember always that whenever we say a word or do something, people see us as Christians doing that. That means we have to be careful to do everything and to see everything in light of Christ present in our life. We are little Christs. When we are born, we are given that icon of Christ in our soul, in our heart, and that icon grows up with us as we grow until it should become all in our lives. That people should always see Christ in ourselves. So this is a time for all of us, especially for you, members of this beloved cathedral, to renew your faith and rededicate your faith for 50 years to come. And I hope and pray you will have the opportunity to celebrate that centennial jubilee. We may not be around, but many of you will be, God willing. finally, this is also Silver Jubilee of announcing declaring the cathedral as a Simhasana, 1999. So this is also a jubilee that to be celebrated. And I personally here, it's my job, my duty to recommit myself and to express my readiness to always be with you as a Simhasana Cathedral, as I am with all the churches, of course, but especially with the Simhasana institutions. That is my responsibility. I'll be asked about it by the Lord directly. So I'm here to also express and declare my love to each one of you as a spiritual father, and also to rededicate myself to your service, to the service of the people of God, members of the Holy Church. I thank you very much for all the love that you have shown, for the dedication that you have in your lives towards the church, for your loyalty towards the Holy Throne of Antioch, of which undeservedly I am the humble servant and the guardian of this Holy Throne. Many great fathers have preceded me. Many great saints were occupying this Holy Throne, including the Saint More Ignatius Elias III, who's Peronar, who's coming to Putunkurush and celebrating with us the Golden Jubilee of our beloved Mafriono, More Basilius Thomas I. We pray for More Basilius' good health as he's recovering, and hopefully he will be discharged today from the hospital. We express to the Chief Minister once again our gratitude for also receiving us as a state guest here, but we also once again asked him to do all his best, whatever he can, to make sure that justice is given to the people, that people are allowed to have a say in the way we worship. They worship in the church they want to belong to, in the loyalty they want to express. And His Excellency, as he did publicly in the meeting, he also promised to do all he can to bring peace and peaceful solution to this over 110 years problem and division in the church. We all are working for peace. We want peace. We want dignity for everyone, for every single member of our church from both factions. We love them all. They are all our spiritual children. We don't want them to be separated, divided, and fighting. And we know how important reconciliation is, because all of you come from the same background, same blood, same belonging, you are one people, and we are with all of you. And we pray and we hope we will be able, with God's grace and with the goodwill of many people, we will be able to bring an end, a conclusion to this long-lasting fighting and division, which does not serve the Holy Church, but rather undermines our own witnessing, our own credibility as a church. We cannot give witness to Christ when we are divided and fighting among each other. So it's our hope and prayer that this will come to an end. Once again, Termeni, Achimare, members of the church committee, managing committee, all the organizations, thank you so much for this beautiful reception, for showing your love towards your spiritual father. I also love you in turn as your spiritual father. I pray for you, and I ask you to always pray for me. God bless you.
Thank you, Your Holiness, for the blessings. Now we will be having the souvenir releasing ceremony by His Holiness now. I invite Commander Dr. K.J. Varki to hand over the Golden Jubilee souvenir to His Holiness, and I request His Grace Dr. Georgis Merkurilos Metropolitan to receive it.